What's up, gang? You already know who it is, man. It's Wall Street Shooter. And I just want to come to y'all, man, talk about my Friday trades. I did 3 trades. I ran 2 puts. One was a big old L on SPY. The other one I got a 31% back. And then I also bought into NVIDIA, which turned into a swing play for me. And I'm gonna talk about the SPY. I want to talk about SPY first, and then I'll talk to you guys about why I jumped in NVIDIA and decided to swing that. And the crazy thing about the NVIDIA is that I determined I was gonna swing that pretty early into the trading day. So I only took 3 trades. I took 1 L. And so yeah, let's talk about it. I want to get in right into it. So we busting on a 5-minute chart right here on SPY. Just coming and looking off the rip. I knew SPY was going to be pulling back today, and I was anticipating for a nice bounce and go. And then at the pre-market, they announced the information in regards to payroll. And so I was like, this is going to be a light day, kind of choppy. I went from being bullish to bearish very quick before the market even opened up. And I'm glad I did, because I was definitely looking at, trying to play off some momentum. We've been rolling for the last couple of days. So that was initially my train of thought. But as soon as some news came out, some catalysts came out, I figured that the market would shift. Pre-market, the futures on there wasn't looking too hot. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's go ahead and flip the switch. Let's go bearish on this. All right. So first thing first, we gapped down from Thursday highs about 117, 118-ish, gapped all the way down, opened up about, we opened at 412, right? But I also noticed from previous lows from last couple of days that 113, 114-ish was pretty solid resistance. So immediately that's what I was looking for, to see if we can bounce off that or bust through. If we will bust through, I was going to turn on my bull, get ready for the rip through. But we didn't, as you can see. Off the gate, had a small bounce right off the gate. Tested that 414, got rejected, tested it again. I knew right there it was game time. Let's go ahead and get in here. Let's go ahead and get these puts going. And I kind of let the market kind of do their thing. This is the 2-minute chart. So I was kind of flipping back and forth between the 2 and the 5-minute. And I noticed that on the 5, I noticed that we started to hold the 9 EMA and kind of consolidate and ride that wave. So ideally, my plan was to go ahead and load up on this candle here about the 412, and I got into a 409 put. Made the signal to the group chat in Discord. I actually jumped in here and rolled this bar, all this heavy candle all the way down for about 30%. This is when greed kicked in, right? Normally, and I always have my Discord, base hit wins and score runs as well, right? Baseball analogy. You can score runs with base hits. You always don't have to look for the home run. So usually when I hit 30% or even 25%, I usually trim. I like to trim and take my shillings. I was kind of greedy though. I ain't even gonna cap to y'all, man. So when this pullback happened, and I'll show you all guys on the 2-minute chart. So we had this pullback here, and we started to hug that 9. And even though we didn't close the 9, once I got here, it being Friday, and it being 0 DTE, I immediately lost out on that 30% and immediately got down to a negative 25, which, if you know, you're in the Discord, 20% is my stop loss. I try to stay as stern as possible as that. I got the 25 and I had to get out the trade. Took that L. But I was very consistent, trust my charting, knew where we were at, regardless that I took that L due to stop loss. Once I got into the 411 range, I got back in the trade right here on this green candle. Popped back in for the same amount of contracts that I had initially back into the 409. And I caught this momentum, this big sell-off right here, all the way down to where? 409, baby. So that was about a 35% trade. I cut some here right on this pullback, on this light pullback here on the green. And then I rolled the rest of it down. Once it hit at the bottom, the second time it tested 409, I got out of the trade, roughly about 35%, 35% trade. Got some of that back from what I lost, but overall, it was a good trade. Do I think I'd felt like I did a revenge trade. Not at all. Not at all. I just stayed true to my stop loss. If I wasn't like, damn, like I knew that we had more momentum on the down, but it being zero DTE Friday, I had to stick to my guns. I didn't wager a lot of money, but still, I just didn't want to, fuck around and this shit turn and just take off on me, right? Even though we were ready for calls, the market was showing me bear. So just kept it true. So yeah, lost 25%, gained about 35% on that second trade. And that was my only trade on SPY. I traded SPY all this week and was able to hit SPY all this week except that one time. So I feel good about that. Now let's talk about NVIDIA real quick. Let's go to the daily on NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been hot. Everything's been hot. Beautiful. We had the double bottom on NVIDIA. As you can see here, perfect double bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 8 days worth of good, decent price action, man. Thursday was looking great. Had this consolidation from this double bottom. If you know anything about the double bottom pattern, you always get that consolidation after you break that neckline. So I was anticipating a continuation, but I was fully prepared to swing this into the next week. I wasn't planning on scalping NVIDIA. I knew that if I put it like this, if I would have a nice pop, if the market was going to hold and kind of keep the same sentiment as it's been doing, then I was prepared to just go ahead and scalp this. But I also was prepared to go ahead and swing this until next week. A little risky. I don't like swinging over weekends, but I'm very confident in the technical setup and what I'm looking at on the daily and the 1 hour chart as well too. And I don't have my lines here because I use TD Ameritrade, but Thinkorswim with all my lines and everything. But I wanted to, use this setup here on TradingView. But I was very confident in what I saw. I know even on the 4 hour chart, as you can see, this large price action, I knew we was going to get some pullback back to the 9. We held the 9 based off of this. As you can see, the previous couple of hours, this is the 4 hour chart, before this big candle rip off, you can see they held the 9 very well. We held the 9 again on Friday. So definitely looking into it. We got this gap, little gap here between the highs for today and the close of Thursday. So I want to kind of see if we can actually bounce off of this resistance, which we're testing. And this is the 187, and see if we can get a nice bounce and break this. And now support, sorry, I said resistance. See if we can break this resistance here at 190, get back through this 190 and start challenging these recent trend highs on Thursday. So yeah, that's one reason why. Gave me some time. That's why I bought the contract for next week Expo, just to kind of give it some time, let the play marinate, let it cook. And just kind of see what we got going on. Overall, the market's been looking real good, been sturdy. So, I'm hanging my hat on that. Prepared to get out of the trade with an L if need be. And we always gonna live the trade another day. But I'm really feeling real confident. I'm gonna let this brew. I'm gonna let this cook. And we're gonna see what we get up out in the video next week. A little risky, but hey, you gotta play. You gotta, be a little risky to get a nice little bag. And I'm very confident in what I'm seeing, that, is going to be a decent trade, but I'm also prepared for the worst as well too. So there's nothing wrong about being confident in what you're looking at, but also be prepared. I might even want to, depending on what Monday look like, I will jump into some puts to kind of, leverage. And then sell off if need be. But just based off the 4 and the 1 hour chart, looking pretty decent. Of course, we're gonna look at after hours in the pre-market, see what the market looking like, and then we do go from there, baby. But that's all I got. I don't want to hold y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy, Wall Street Shooter. 3 trades on Friday. Took 1 L. Took a banger, nice 35 bagger off a SPY, and then we swung the video for next week. And that's it. Get ready for Monday, June 6th, Amazon 20 split. Check the video that I dropped. Tap in. You can kind of get my ideas on what my game plan is going to be, how I'm going to treat the 20. Am I going to take actual shares hold for long term? How I'm going to do my options, what I'm going to be looking at. I gave y'all the juice. I gave y'all the swag. I gave y'all the drizip. I spilled all over it. If you don't know what the spill is, you know, everybody say drip. I say spill. I spilled all over it. I gave y'all the sauce on that video. So it's your boy Wall Street. I'm signing out. Later.